Hello, everybody. Well, hi, everybody. Let's start our webinar. So here we are. My name is Yaroslav Chuykov. I'm product marketing manager at Checkaso, and Sergey Zhukovsky is CIS, business developer and marketing manager at SocialPeta. Please send a plus or yes if you can hear us both well. Sergey, please say something to check the quality of your sound too.
Hi guys, can you hear me well?
I can see at least one plus. And Sergey, your video at the moment is shut down.
Hi guys, well, welcome to you.
At least 4 pluses, so it seems everything is okay. Well, so if everything is okay, we can proceed directly to our speeches. If you have any questions, then you can send them into live chat. We'll answer them at the Q&A session right after both our solo presentations. So the lot has fallen to me, so I will be the first. Give me please a second to share the screen. So let me say my name once again. My name is Yaroslav. I'm product marketing manager at Checkaso. And previously also I took part in some e-commerce analytics product and cybersecurity product, as well as I have huge marketing experience outside IT. So this is me. And let me tell a bit more about our platform. Checkaso is an analytical platform that rates your SEO performance and gives you a custom tip on how to improve it. It's made by SEO specialists and fit users of any experience, from beginners to enthusiasts with a lot of optimized apps behind. The platform algorithms provide highly accurate data on keywords, impressions and search volume, live search results, ranking history, competitor analysis for App Store and Google Play, and much more. In 2020, we have experienced a major breakthrough, and we has grown remarkably. So we have launched more than 10 ASO tools, added 13 new locals, developed a system of indexes, launched an ASO audit services, conducted at least 15 or maybe 16 training webinars, and were nominated for the best ASO company at App Growth Awards. So let's proceed to the topic of my speech. What is seasonal and situational? In my speech, I won't really sharpen a gaze at all the channels of promoting an app, like user acquisition, affiliate marketing, and so on, except ASO, of course. As you know, ASO is a tactic that improves an app's visibility on an app store. So let's figure out what is situational and seasonal marketing in this case. Situational marketing is a brand's response to any social event relevant for mass audience. Seasonal marketing is a process of marketing products or services during special points of the year. And the main difference between these two concepts is that seasonal marketing stands for repeatable events and can be planned, and situational marketing can be compared like something like a challenge of unpredictable occasions occurring, and the marketer's task in this case is to catch the moment to benefit if we talk about something positive, or to reduce negative impact otherwise. And using these two concepts, we can figure out that both can be easily nailed to your ISO strategy to work together in synergy. Including seasonality in your ISO keyword strategy can help you to benefit from increased search popularity for certain seasonal search terms, and even put your app in front of audiences you may not have reached otherwise. So in flow of my speech, I'll go from negative cases or maybe negative situations to positive ones. So let's start with the example of negative situational occasion, or more correctly to name, negative feedback. So the next slide. Are you ready to age challenge? In the beginning of 2021, Amazon has quietly rolled out a slight update to its new app icon that it's debuted back in January, which alters the colorful strip of tape on the icon that bore an unfortunate resemblance to a toothbrush-style mustache. The toothbrush mustache was originally popularized by comedians like Charlie Chaplin in the very beginning of 20th century, but shortly after it became forever associated with Adolf Hitler. If you just thought, what? Then I should tell you my first thought about it, what was probably the same. And so Amazon decided to change the app icon and refer to comparative analysis section of our Checkaso platform, which allows you to compare your app to a competitor's app or to compare two different versions of the same app. At the left, we can see the current version of Amazon app. And on the right screen, I placed the version that was right before they rolled out the one with a new app icon. So toothbrush mustache icon was never released. They have decided to replace it with another one right in time. And so what's the trick? Or maybe what's the conclusion for this example? Be ready for unexpected changes in context. When launching a new element of your app, like graphics, like slogan or promotion, it may be worth double checking it for unwanted connotations that may occur in some different contexts. So let's proceed to positive situational occasions. The next example, if you declare that you have some special mission or maybe some special values that setting you aside from your competitors, then you can invoke thematic occasions or news feed to play on your site. If your users are loyal to your brand enough, you can become somebody like maybe Superman or advocate of interests for your users and customers. And this process can be relaunched again and again and again for every new occasion. This causes the increase of both unmeasurable metrics, like above mentioned brand loyalty, and measurable ones, like, for example, stickiness. Really relevant example you can see on the screen of such a brand and such a product is Vivaldi browser, with their positioning as a browser that treats you well, which means a maximal focus on privacy and an absence of user tracking and data collection. In March of 2021, Google proclaimed termination of use of third-party cookies that tracks user behavior to create advertisement profiles. Instead, the corporation will offer new ways to target ads without collecting personal data, Google. At the very end of March, Google activated a test version of Flock technology for some Chrome users. So, well, relatively neutral definition of Flock sounds like Flock provides a privacy-preserving mechanism for interest-based ad selection. As a user moves around the web, the browser used the Flock technology, Flock algorithm to work out its interest cohort, which will be the same for thousands of browsers with a similar recent browsing history. The browser recalculates its cohort periodically on the user device without sharing individual browsing data with browser vendor or anyone else. But Vivaldi technologies from their side are really more strict. Flock, is it a privacy invasive technology under the testing by Google that will build profiles and track you in the absence of third-party cookies? So it's their slogan. Does Vivaldi browser support Flock? No, Vivaldi says flock off. It should be noted that the developers of browsers have shown the great solidarity in denial of flock technology testing, but it was Vivaldi who has directly accused Google that their technology is dangerous. So according to Vivaldi's opinion, flock will bring only damage to privacy, covered with fake provision of privacy. Once again, Google privacy. So in fact, Vivaldi became the leader of this confrontation in the media and also in professional community. And surely, as I mentioned before, when I told you about the mission and the values, the users, current and potential ones, have preserved such kind of care positively. So what is flock? Google, don't track me no more. And as also I have said before, your marketing strategy should work together with your ASO strategy. Otherwise, you'll get less result than you deserve. So in Checkaso, we have developed and implemented a system of indexes, and one of them is search visibility index, which shows how easy is it to find your app by keywords. If we refer to it to see how well Vivaldi browser can be found if we use relevant keywords, so we can see something like this. And we can conclude that most of traffic is not organic, but branded. Surely, there are some positive moments in this fact, because branded traffic always means that potential users appreciate the mission and the values of the product. Developers' approach for cybersecurity, data protection, user privacy, and so on. And also, surely, I note that Vivaldi's creatives are really cool and memorable. But on the other side, due to lack of App Store optimization, the app receives less organic traffic for most relevant keywords like private browser, like privacy browser, incognito browser, and so on. And so on the screen with the USA local active, we can see a low value of search visibility index. Unfortunately, it's really less than the benchmark, and positions for the relevant keywords are really low. So the trick, never forget the app ranking, which is lower than 5th position. It will lose at least 50% of the potential traffic. And if only your app ranks below 10th position, so it will be on the second screen of Google Market or Apple App Store, it becomes almost invisible to users who may search it. So once again, in this example, we have good application, valuable mission, branded traffic, fantastic quantity of keywords indexed, but too few of them are at the top positions. If more relevant keywords reach top positions, it may significantly boost the installs of Vivaldi browser. So the conclusion for this example is that sometimes competitors' actions may be your chance to flip the game and attract more users, but without top positions in the store, your app is invisible for organic search and you gain much less than you deserve. So start to do ASO as an iterative process and your effort will show positive return on investment one day. So let's proceed to seasonal events, seasonal marketing and ASO, and the types of seasonal events. I want to tell you, it can be divided something like festive or holiday, like St. Valentine's Day, Independence Day, in USA New Year, Spring Festival, also named as Chinese New Year, etc. Religious, like Holy Ramadan month for Muslims. Mixed, something like if we some festive and religious ones, like Easter, like Hanukkah, like Christmas. So at the same time, it's a holiday and it's a religious occasion. Social, like Pride Month, like another relevant example is, for example, Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. It was celebrated in May. And other, if only I forgot something. And to to compare imperfect and perfect, if we talk about ISO, of course, let's take a look at the following examples. It won't be at the screen, so just a minute for this example. I think everyone knows so-called puzzle quests or 3 in a row games. So D3 Publishing, together with Octagon Games, has developed and published a couple of such games under license of its copyright owners. So the first game's name is Marvel Puzzle Quest, and the second one is Magic Puzzle Quest. And surely, if you want to increase retention of your players, you should attract their attention again and again. And seasonal events is a great opportunity in this case. But I'll show that there is no limit for perfection. If only the developers put a little more effort, then they could get much better results. So the first example will be without the slide, Magic Puzzle Quest, based on Magic the Gathering multiverse by Wizards of the Coast. And the holiday for this example will be 14th of February, so Saint Valentine's Day. On this day, year after year, Magic Puzzle Quest provides a special event called Angel's Embrace. And everything is in this event is linked to angelic theme, because it's the reference to Cupid. I mean, angel is a reference to Cupid and angels in general. So to participate in this event, if you are a Magic Puzzle Quest player, you must have a playable character linked with the red mana, because red is the color of love and red is the color of passion. At least 3 rewards for winning battles in this angelic event will be also angelic. So you'll receive a card named Downing Angel if you scope 10 points. You'll list Angelic Ascension if only you scope 30 points, and Legion Angel if you win all the battles. So love is in the air. Everything is about love. Everything is about red color and angels. But there is a problem. Only current and maybe past players of Magic Puzzle Quest know about this event and its repeatability. And if we search for any mentions or something special for 14th of February, we'll find nothing, either in graphic creatives or in text metadata. So the question, how should new players find information about it? And for example, you browse your Apple App Store, look for something featured special for St. Valentine's Day, you won't find in this game. So these questions unfortunately have no answer. And the next example will be another game by D3. So Marvel Puzzle Quest, and the occasion or the event will be Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, May of 2021. So Marvel, together with D3, invited all the players to check in-app inbox in May to receive 400 points of in-game currency for free, and also player versus player events throughout the month will feature Asian American characters in honor of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. I'm not really familiar with Marvel characters, but the post looks enough Asian just to trust Marvel and D3, just to see the slogan and trust them. But once again, neither graphic ISO nor the text ISO was prepared. So the focus of these activities is still on the current players, and the new players traffic was branded for Marvel aspects, not for Asian Pacific ones. And the example I found ideal in the context of my speech, so it will be the final case I'll show you, will be about the prequel aesthetic editor app. So the marketing activities is really good. And if we talk about Halloween as one of the most popular seasonal events of all time, surely Halloween lost its initial meaning because well, once again, the Halloween has lost its initial meaning, belonging to archaic Celtic traditions. So now it's just a day to celebrate that every evil, death, and other world things aren't scary but funny. And since the end of 20th century, Halloween has been settled not only in Europe, but also in Japan, in Singapore as well, as in some other Asian Pacific countries. And at the screen, you see that Checkaso comparative analysis shows us that Prequel prepared enough for Halloween event. They have changed not only the app icon, but also screenshots. So in the version released close to October 21st, everything reminded us of Halloween thematics. And in short tradition, it won't appear at the screen, but as I mentioned before, Pride Month is the social occasion in June. And if you look for the Prequel aesthetic editor app right now in your iPhone, or maybe in Google Play Market, then you'll see that Prequel has adapted its app icon once again. And in the version rolled out right before June started, it contains 6 rainbow colors. And if we return to Prequel activity, then it provides a wide range of in-app purchases as well, from weekly to yearly subscription plans. And one of the in-apps is a so-called promoted in-app purchase, I mean yearly plan. So yearly plan of Prequel aesthetic editor is a promoted in-app. And using Checkaso in apps section, we can see that some keywords Prequel is indexed by have high positions. For example, the second. Using keywords ranking distribution tool of in-app section, you can see keyword position distribution for the selected period as well as their dynamics. So what's the trick Prequel's marketers can use to improve the impact of their marketing efforts? An ideal situation for Prequel, if we talk about increasing the visibility, can be so-called purchase of the first position with placing an advertisement via Apple Search Ads, via ASA. And in this case, the first paid traffic and the third one, second organic positions, will belong to them. And if only their ranking will increase from the second to the first place, then actually the whole screen of the App Store will show only their app in search results. So the summary. The first I want to advise you is to provide value to your users or players. It's a kind of axiom. Nobody loves meaningless products empty inside and made just for trying to shake out money from the users. The second one, carpe diem, is Latin for catch the moment. So if only you are a marketing specialist and you feel that great occasion occurs and may impact on your product's popularity, so probably dare to use it. Then the third one, make great content and great creatives to attract attention and acquire users. It's, I think, another kind of axiom, because the competition is a rush, and if only you make so-so content, then someone will make great one and acquire more users. And last but not the least, pay attention to your ASO to acquire organic traffic and browse traffic from category chats, a list of similar apps, featured collection, and so on. ASO is an iterative process. Stores algorithms usually change, and your competitors also take part in this rush in their app optimization. So as Lewis Carroll has written in his Alice in Wonderland, my dear, here we must run as fast as we can just to stay in place. And if you wish to go anywhere else, you must run twice as fast as that. And finalizing my speech, let's talk a bit more about Checkaso again. I want to draw your attention to the fact that every insight I have shown to you, I have collected with our platform, with Checkaso. You can easily start to use our platform yourself, registering at 3w.checkaso.io. We provide a 7 days free trial of any tariff with no credit card needed. And I recommend also to explore our site for free ESO ebooks, case studies, blog articles from basic ESO to professional level and much more. And the last thing, we have prepared something to you. It's a little gift using QR code at the screen, or maybe short link at checkaso.io/seasons. You can get an electronic calendar with events you may use for your seasonal ESO, from worldwide to local events, from Thanksgiving to Chinese New Year. We have collected the main ones you should pay attention to. So thanks for participation, and see you next time. Sergey?
Yep. Thank you, Yaroslav, for being. Yeah, thank you for the great speech.
Thanks. Yep. I'm shutting down my video, so your turn.
Okay. So, hey, ladies and gents, again, thank you, Yaroslav, for warming up the dance floor. Now we're going to go through some statistics, trends, and advertising strategies for mobile game industry. And this is presented by me. My name is Sergey. You might know me already. I'm representing the great and the only Chinese spy marketing platform, SocialPeta.com. I'm actually responsible for all this here as business development and sales. So if any interest, you can always refer to me, to my contact details, or to our website. So let's jump into the contents of our today's presentation. So just not to bother you too much, guys. So these are the contents. So the survey of global mobile market, the observation of the markets, some hot countries, which are US, UK, and Russia as well. So also the trends of global mobile games media buying in 2020 Q1, and also insight into how mobile games being promoted. So let's bring it all. So the first one. We go through. So this is the survey of global mobile market for the 2020. And actually, as you may see, that China was by far the largest market of active smartphone users, reaching almost 900 millions of them by the end of 2020. So China, as for us, will remain the world's largest market of smartphone users till the 2023. So India also had about 500 million smartphone users in 2020 and ranking the second in the world. And with the United States with almost 300 million on its heels. So China is dwarfed by all the overseas markets combined. In the United States, Japan, and other developed countries, the mobile device penetration rate is higher, and the average spend of gamers is also pretty higher than, of course, in China. So something about the active game advertisers across the world. So advertisers in all regions except Southeast Asia increased compared with the previous year, 2019, with the largest increase of almost 35% found in North America. So this is the trend of how it was filling itself in comparing to 2019. And so we can see all the decrease in Southeast Asia. Other market has grown a little bit or higher than a bit. So something about the survey of mobile game media buying in 2020. So observing overall mobile game marketing on the more than 70 ad networks as we have across 62 countries in 2020, the global media buying market kept growing in the second quarter 2020. I would say even in the second half of 2020. So with a monthly average of about 20,000 active advertisers. May actually had the lowest number of active creatives in the first half of 2020, and also in August of the second part of 2020. So we can see the scale and the trend of how the users of advertisers, sorry, not the users, but the advertisers showed up in different networks during the year of 2020. So again, the global active advertisers in 2020. So the number of global active advertisers maintained a steady growth in 2020. There were about 60K, even more, active advertisers worldwide. And under the impact of the pandemic, the mobile gaming industry mushroomed a little bit. So with advertisers increasing a little bit more than 50% compared to 2019. So I would say that nearly 60% of advertisers were found in the Android system. So we can see the slight winning competition between Android and iOS. So yeah, talking about the global advertising costs in 2020, we can see that the United States had the highest CPM, averaging about 22, I would say, US dollars annually, and the CPC of almost $2, so $1.9. But its CTR was also high, averaging more than 1, so it's 1.12, something like this. So yeah, all this information you can find at SocialPeta.com. So talking a little bit more about the observation of mobile games and its made by, we can start with the US market. So like the world's largest economy, the largest overseas mobile market, and so on, and blah, blah, blah. So we can say that the US mobile gaming market has highly developed actually the casual games, of which hyper-casual games are deeply popular among local gamers. So we can also say that we can see like the some amount of active advertisers in 2020 for US market. It was a little bit more than 30K, and the active creators almost 7 million, which is pretty high. We can see afterwards about the Russia. You can compare these data to what we have here locally. And also the hot advertising genres in 2020 were like casual, arcade, and puzzle games. Yeah, and creative genres also casual, puzzle, and arcade. Yeah. So talking about the media buying, these are the trends in active advertisers and active creatives in 2020 for US market. We can see that the monthly average of active advertisers stood at 10K, I would say. The highest numbers of active advertisers and active creatives were seen in December, so it's pretty much okay. So the highest number of active advertisers is a single month. Approximate is like 12K. So according to our statistics, the average is 12K. And so December is the highest range. So also a topic that jumping up. So the top 10 hot mobile game advertisers 2020 for US market. So we can say that colorful games were most represented, as the top charts were dominated by games with a pretty much simple gameplay. So the top traffic buys were mainly Android advertisers, and in the US market, there were a lot of money-making games that paid more attention in 2020. So you can see like the top chart of all the top advertisers and creators on the US market. So here we see like the hot money-making game creatives, which is represented by Lucky Day. And ad creatives often use winners' live action excitement, to attract users, and even end with a 10-second countdown to urge users to click. So, and Lucky Day is the perfect example of a real money app that was really much more represented on the US market than on the others. So we can see, we can watch the creative itself actually.
You have 10 seconds left.
So as you may see, these like a little bit of statistics about these creative and the Lucky Day. So the advertising duration, the network, the video size, and blah, blah, blah. So a little bit more about the Lucky Day, as it was released in 2015, is a classic and major money-making game. It features a scratch-off gameplay, and players win chips by scratching off lottery tickets. So you can see it's a pretty much easy video, but it's really made an impact on the US market. So we can jump to another slide then. So about the UK market, a couple of words about it. So in the UK, I would say that one of the 4 largest economies in Europe, a mobile market that has received much attention in Europe actually. So UK has the world's second highest mobile device penetration rate of about 80%. So second only to the US actually. So in 2018, actually, UK mobile game spending hit 1.5 billion it's approximately of dollars, and it's approximately 1.2 billions of pounds. So representing 29% of the UK's total game revenues, actually. So this is a lot. If we analyze the active advertisers and its quantity, I would say that it's almost 25K was in 2020, and active creatives a little bit more than 3 million, which is twice less than in US. But guys, if you compare US and UK markets in mobile, that's just pretty much not comparable for right now. So and yeah, top 3 advertiser genres is casual, puzzle, arcade, which is pretty much similar to US, and 3 ad creative genres are puzzle, casual, and RPG as well. So yeah, the trends, we can only say that in the UK, active creatives increased remarkably throughout the year, up to 400% in December, actually from January. So this is the whole year impact. And so active advertisers passed the 10K mark in November. Also, ad creatives maintained a steady growth trend and reaching a monthly average of 1.2 million creatives in the last quarter of 2020. So the fourth one. Yep. So talking about the top hot mobile game advertisers, we can say that the top charts were dominated by casual games, interspersed with the SLG and RPG. So just a little bit of SLG and RPG here. And the color field product called Coloring Book placed a lot of creatives in many countries throughout the Europe and America, and as well, of course, in UK. So about the RPG, so not US, but UK. So more and more RPG creatives were widely divergent from their core gameplay, driving traffic through puzzle or other elements. So we can see like the fake creative, a little bit fake, I would say, from what comparing to the real gameplay of the game. So we can also see the creative itself. So we sprint on to the Russian market. So Russia, just a little bit of some marketing, is the largest country in Central and Eastern Europe and one of the largest mobile markets in Europe and Middle East and Africa. So Russia has a large and still growing number of mobile users, sufficient to bring huge returns. So among Russians' population, I would say almost half are gamers who spend up to almost 1.7 billion in this area every year of dollars. So if we talk about like the advertising data, you can see that the number of those is almost 60K and active creatives is 2.5 million, a little bit more than that. Talking about the favorite game genres, we can stress that strategy games and global game developers have invested heavily in these genres. And it has now become a top grossing genre in Russia, actually. But beneath these one, also casual and puzzle games are also pretty much popular. But again, I would just to emphasize that RPGs and strategy games are also very, very popular in Russia if we compare it to UK and US. So yeah, I'm talking a little bit more about the action games, which is also pretty much popular in Russia. So Russia is the third most popular market for the action games. Yeah, and it has lots of creatives on different networks as well. Yeah, we can jump to another one. So sorry. Yeah. So yes, this is the survey of mobile games buying traffic, again in Russia, and the creative count was increased by, well, it actually decreased a little bit to the middle of the 2020, then increased to the highest level if we compare it to the beginning of the year 2020. So average monthly advertisers were about 4K, and average monthly creatives were around 500,000, so 500,000. About the creatives and advertisers. So we can see that's the number of, from this scale, we can see that the number of the active advertisers had a slight decrease in the middle of the year, but then jumped to 4.3K. And also if we talk about the creatives, the line, this curve, we can see that was a pretty much big decrease in the middle and then a huge jump till at the end of the year. So at the fourth quarter in December as well. So talking about the top 10 mobile game advertisers in 2020 in Russia, we can again emphasize the puzzle, SLG, action, and shooting game products that actually dominated Russia's top advertisers charts. So in comparison or in contrast to the UK and the US, Russia had an obviously high proportion of mid and hardcore games, while casual games products featured mind-boggling puzzle game creatives in buying traffic. So yeah, we can see like the top 10, and you can see like the genres. And we can see that puzzle, SLG, and RPGs are again prevailing, but there are two of those that are action games actually. Yeah, talking about like the hot advertiser and the I would say the most popular one, it's for sure the Gardenscapes. Yeah, so 10 more than 10 million creatives were accumulated, fetched to with nearly 200% year-to-year growth if we compare 2020 to 2019, and SLG placed the most creatives. Each advertiser placing 960 creatives as well. So yeah, it's about Playrix actually, and talking about Playrix it has the unique and effective release and advertising strategies which prefer highly interactive puzzle plot to attract players. So yeah, so here are some metrics about the Gardenscapes from Playrix, like the advertising duration, the most popular and the most preference in terms of networks and video size. Yeah, also an estimated impression rate, which is about 1 million. So yeah, so Gardenscapes comes from Playrix, a well-established Russian company with 1K plus employees. So you will all these know. So a lot of DAOs. So daily users. So yeah, a lot of nice game, whatever you say. But again, I would just want to emphasize that the creatives are actually not the real gameplay. So again, we're using the fake strategy to promote our products. Again, if it works, okay, but still, you have to. There's something to think about actually. Yeah. Yeah, so nothing comparing to the real gameplay. Anyway, never mind. So yeah, so about the transient global mobile games media buying in the first quarter 2021. So more than 10 million creatives, a year growth 200%, and SLG plays the most creatives, and each advertiser placing almost 1K of creatives. So this is pretty much a little bit of the survey about the active advertisers. As mentioned earlier, there was a significant increase in ad creatives at the end of 2020 in all the top countries. And this growth momentum continued and also continued in the first quarter of this year. So we have accumulated and analyzed that's more than 25 actually K advertisers were cumulatively fetched in the first quarter of this year, with the growth of almost 2%. I would say 1.8% of the growth to the previous year. So also about the creatives, again, the yearly growth is about 200%. So this is a lot actually. This is both, I would say, an opportunity and a challenge to everyone in the mobile gaming market. Second, it also an opportunity as an influx of more mobile gamers against the backdrop of the COVID pandemic. And also the third one is the challenge that is endeavors by various manufacturers. So always be prepared for the change. So you'll never know. We thought actually that the previous year should be like should have the most of efficiency, but you know what? This year is even better. So yeah, if we talk about the average daily advertiser is about 12K. Also, the average daily creative is about 5 million, and the creative count kept climbing throughout the first quarter of this year. So talking about like the types of the creatives, you know, like the videos or whatever, or images, we can say that video creatives was still the preferred choice of various advertisers, occupying almost 87% of the total creative count. So followed by image creatives at the rate of almost 12%. So you see the gap is very high. So as to the system distribution of advertisers, yeah, here the blue one, sorry for the value, the blue one is the video. So as to the system distribution of advertisers and creatives, the ratio of iOS to Android advertisers approximated 4 to 6 actually, so more to Android for sure. So in the first quarter this year. So the ratio of iOS to Android creatives were close to 1-to-1 in the first quarter 2020, the previous year. You follow up? So, but when iOS even had a slight edge, but in the first quarter of this year, the ratio of iOS to Android creatives were close to 4 to 6 again. So it seemed that the iOS update, the new one, the 14.5, did a heavy blow on iOS advertisers. So now, and from our point of view, this gap will grow slightly, but still grow till the end of this year. So it depends. It depends on what iOS will bring us this year, or maybe nothing. So we'll see. Yeah. So survey of advertising of various game genres, right? So casual, arcade, and puzzle had the biggest proportion of advertisers actually, and SLGs placed the most creatives. Each advertiser placing about 1K creatives in the first quarter this year. So what we see, that's more of advertisers for puzzle, arcade, and casual, but SLGs are placing more of creative, which means that SLG developers, they need to set up and to create more creatives to attract their users and to attract their traffic. So this is the point. So also talking a little bit about this one. So sorry about, again, the value. You can always refer to me, and you can ask a request for this presentation to be sent to you with the more fixed value, because we have some technical issues. That's why we do not represent some values in here. So the average, I will talk about the average statistics for the CPC and CPM trends. The average CPC was $1.9 quarter over quarter, and in the first quarter 2021, which is actually more than 100%, almost 130% increase comparing to the first quarter of the previous year. So and also the average CPM increase. It was 1470 in the first quarter this year, and increased on the same level, 130% to the same value in the quarter 2020, in the first quarter 2020. So if we talk about CTR, it also increased, but not too much. I would say, well, it increased a lot, but comparing to CPM or CPC, not so much. So the average CTR was in the first quarter is 1.8%, and the average increase is 80% to the first quarter comparing to the first quarter of 2020. So yeah, advertising and hot creatives of PUBG Mobile actually, and Project Makeover and the Genshin impact in the first quarter. That's what we're going to go through right now. So PUBG Mobile, here we go. Tencent Mobile International Limited, all we know. So PUBG Mobile earned 2.7 billion in the 2020, grossing 5.1 billion in lifetime sales. So this is a lot. So also 1.1K. And even more than that, days of advertising. So like every day, I would say. Also 8K, even more than that, of ad creatives, and more than 20 global popular networks used for passing or for promoting their creatives in total. So while China's iOS gamers have cumulatively spent almost $3 billion on PUBG Mobile, the game has gathered 2.3 billion in the rest of the markets. So of which the United States, the largest overseas market, contributed 12% of the game's total revenue. So followed by Japan, contributing almost 5%. So you see that China makes the profit for PUBG Mobile. So meanwhile, the game enjoys very high popularity in Russia, actually, which we all do know, but staying in the top 5 of the Russian App Store by top grossing, actually. Yep. So a little bit of PUBG Mobile as well. So this is the slide about the advertising. So advertising peaked in mid-March at almost 240 daily active creatives. So this is the curves that we see by week, and referring to one of each of 4 Facebook networks, and we see like when does the PUBG Mobile had the biggest amount of creatives in which week in the first quarter of 2020. We see it was in March, you see, like, yeah, it's growing up. And it was 240 each day, but not for so long, like maybe a couple of days. So yeah, also about the creatives. The most funny thing that the ad creatives were well made, mostly to publicize in-game events and to make them simultaneously. And we're going to go through all these ad creatives. Are going to see the quality of each one. Yeah, so a little bit of depth makes it better. Yeah, so music makes the difference. Actually, the third one is my favorite one. You can see why.
I want to go something stronger, something with a longer range. All right, but I want something small, powerful, and easy to use. Sure, that's great. But I was referring to something else that's small, powerful, and easy to use.
Yeah, that's cool. Even though under each creative, you can see like the metrics of their promo. So the estimated impression number, the advertising duration, popularity value, the ad network, and the creative size. So everything of this kind you can find on our platform, SocialPeta.com. No, not again. Yeah, sorry for this. We're gonna go further on with about the project makeover, and yeah. So about Project Makeover from Bubblegum Games. Yeah, sorry. It is China's #1 exported Match 3 game by revenue. Actually, it was actually only exported. So the developer and is from China, but they have never popularized it in China itself. So also it's a Russian App Store top 10, and also the days of advertising more than 400. So 11K plus ad creatives and 10 global popular networks were running its creators in total. So the game was launched globally, yeah, except China, as I told you, in November 2020, so not so long ago, but still very popular right now. Yeah, we're gonna also on the first week of launch, it was front page featured in App Store and Google Play in more than 100 countries worldwide. So this is pretty interesting because it has a great efficiency starting only in November. So again, the advertising trends of the first quarter this year for this game, Project Makeover. So creative surged from January to February, peaking around February the 7th. So again, these are the weeks and of the first quarter 2021 for this game, and an analysis of the creatives that were shown and promoted on the 4 Facebook networks. So most creatives, again, were placed on Facebook, and we should note that creatives on Google were also recently on a rise in the first quarter, but are not shown here. You can also request for this information from us. Yeah, so we can see the trend. It was going up, and it was increasing. It then stabilized in the first decade of February, and then went well till the end of the whole first quarter of 2021. Yeah, about the creatives. So all the creatives are well-made, well-quality ones. They refer to some, as Yaroslav told you before, about some seasons or some events, like going to school again in September, or some New Year, or some beach or surfing. So whatever it is, all the creatives are referred concretely, precisely to one or another particular event of your own life that you experience. So we can watch those. So again, that creatives show the all the fails that you can ever do during the choosing the different options. So, but again, it's working. It works okay. So that's why they're shown like this. So we can step forward. Maybe. Yeah. And the most interesting one is about the Genshin Impact, the Chinese mobile game that spent $100 million on development and $200 million on promotion, which is pretty high, and that's why we all know about it. Not only because of the great creatives and the gameplay, but also about this, amount of marketing budget. So the mobile version of Genshin Impact has grossed nearly 1 billion as a phenomenal product, actually. So 200 days of advertising, more about 9K of ad creatives, and more than 10 global popular networks were used by them. It's China's #1 exported mobile game by revenue for months. And with Genshin Impact and other titles, MiHoYo ranks second in the global top grossing publishers. Yeah, again, about the advertising trends in the first quarter of this year. Again, we can see the Facebook networks by weeks and the total number of creatives. So creatives rose significantly, and in early January and late February, averaging about 500 once per day. So you can see the difference that you remember the PUBG Mobile having 250 for a couple of days, and now we compare it to Genshin Impact having 500 for weeks, I would say. So yeah, and also the ad creatives, again, they rose significantly in. For comparing to with other big traffic buys, Genshin Impact had simpler and more direct creatives, which little live action plot, actually. So in live action terms, call creatives appeared more frequently in regional promotion. So generally speaking, excellent game quality made advertising easier, while high highlighted graphics and freedom were appealing enough to gamers. So, but we can see all of this in all their creatives, which are quality and show different occasions and different cases of the game. So we can see them or watch them.
As the fight begins, first use Zhongli's elemental skill to summon a stone steel and draw enemies near it, creating the ideal environment for dealing damage. Then, alternate normal and charged attacks, stringing together attacks to deal enormous damage. When energy is full, unleash an elemental burst and coordinate your party's attacks to wipe out the enemy.
So it makes a wow effect. So this one makes beauty effects. So this one was for those who doesn't like the melee fights, only like the long distance ones.
As the fight begins, first use...
So practically and theoretically, this is, guys, all about the presentation and the topic we've had. These are like our global strategic partners. Of course, they're not all of them here, but we have already chosen these are the partners that have chosen the efficiency of SocialPeta platform and trust our performance. So again, not all of them here, but still there are plenty of them further. Yeah, and talking a little bit more about SocialPeta.com and our spy marketing platform. With SocialPeta, you can get insight into your competitor advertising data. You'll be informed of and inspired by advertising data of different dimensions from global networks, media, and advertisers. So you can get inspiration for more than 1 billion ad creatives. We actually work since 2015, and we have all the ad creatives from this time, and we update our platform hourly. We collect our ad creatives and all the data, other metrics from almost 75, 76 global networks. We do have global networks. We have TikTok, we have Pongo, we have Snapchat, we do have every in-app network. We do have also local Japanese and Korean networks, and of course we do have separately the Chinese market. We do have the Chinese networks, also about 40 of them there. So you see that we can bring a real efficiency to all kind of job you do, to all kind of departments and teams you have, and to all of your plans that you are going to do this year or next year. So please, guys, feel free to contact us at any time. Again, my name is Sergey. You can always refer to me, to my contact details. And we also hope to see you soon in St. Petersburg on the conference that will be offline, I hope so. So thank you so much for being with us. And thank you for listening. I hope it wasn't too boring for you.
Thanks, Sergey. It was really great. Thanks for the video creatives. Thanks for the insights of your speech. We've got just one question. So Ilya asked recording. Yeah, surely there will be a record at YouTube. So we'll push for everybody who has registered for the webinar another email with the reminder to watch this video, if only there wasn't any opportunity to go live with us. And if only you have some additional question, when only we'll finish the translation. So feel free to ask them in comments, and we'll ask them later. So once again, thanks, Sergey. It was really good.
Thank you, Yaroslav. Thank you so much. Yes, about the presentation, everything, and every other information, you can always ask, refer to Yaroslav or to our website, whatever you want to.
So if only we haven't any additional questions, then I think it's time to say goodbye. And thanks once again for everybody who watched and who has listened to our speeches, who watched our presentations. Thank you. See you next time.
Hey guys, bye-bye.